What's going on, everyone? So recently, I've talked more and more about Bruce Brown and the Lakers potentially going and trading after Bruce Brown, right? A lot of examples and stuff like that that have thrown out, like, oh, you go and you do this, and maybe get like a Bruce Brown, and the reason for that is the more and more that I think about it, the more and more I genuinely like the idea, like genuinely, because of a couple reasons, right? Now, not Bruce Brown by himself. Like, that's a good place to start, right? Like, I want Bruce Brown and. Like, if the Lakers just get Bruce Brown, it's like, okay. Like, but if you get Bruce Brown and a Jerami Grant or Bruce Brown and a Cam Johnson, right? Now I think you're talking because you're filling positions of need. The Lakers need point of attack. They need perimeter defense, right? They need that Alex Caruso type guy, which Bruce Brown can fill that void. He's excellent at defending 1 through 3. He gives you point of attack, gives you rim pressure, right? Gives you that real athleticism out on the perimeter. The other two main reasons for me. One, the Lakers are never going to trade Austin Reaves, right? I mean, they believe he's the second coming of Michael Jordan. I mean, I was in the camp that you should have traded him for DeJounte Murray. Look, I love Austin Reaves. I've hyped up Austin Reaves. I've defended Austin Reaves. I like Austin Reaves. He's not better than DeJounte Murray, right? I just don't believe anyone is untouchable. There's like 3 guys in the league that are truly untouchable, right? Like, if tomorrow they were like, hey, we'll trade you LeBron James for Jokic, I would do that. Right? There's few guys, like, if they called and said, hey, we'll trade you Anthony Davis for Wemby, I would do that, right? Because Wemby, for now and the future, would be massive, right? Like, again, there's very few guys that are untradeable, but it has to be the right trade. The Lakers just value Austin Reaves insanely high, right? They only want to trade him for a Wemby or a Giannis or a Jokic or something like that, right? Like, so to me, okay, fine. I don't think Reeves is a bad player. I'm fine with keeping Reeves, but you need to break up the redundancy between Reeves and D'Lo. Either you need to bring Reeves and have him come off the bench, which, again, the Lakers are probably not going to do, or you need to trade D'Angelo Russell. The problem with trading D'Angelo Russell is now you have no real playmaker or initiator. Austin Reaves could be the initiator, especially with what JJ Redick wants to run as far as an offense goes, which is just, a motion offense, right? Ball's not really sticking in one place. It's not something where, he's going to have D'Lo bringing the ball up and D'Lo's just wheeling and dealing and slicing up the defense. No, it's not anything like that. It's, you get the initiator, boom, they make the first pass, and then now everyone's getting into their actions and stuff, right? Everyone's, crisscrossing, setting various screens, all that stuff, right? Like, think of like the Warriors, where like anybody can basically go from rebound to initiating and getting you in your offensive sets. It's kind of what the Lakers want to do, right? AD gets the ball, go, guys get set up, boom, 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 and now you're off to the races. My problem with Austin Reaves, though, is particularly last year, Darvin Ham gave Austin Reaves a lot of opportunity as the primary playmaker, and he couldn't do it. He had his moments, don't get me wrong, but he was running entire units by himself, and it was terrible. Also, he doesn't handle ball pressure well, right? It's one thing to operate in the half court, right? It's another thing to operate when you're trying to, bring it the full length of the court and you have guys pressuring you. And you saw how many times he had to just give the ball up, right? So I do have concerns about him as the primary initiator. So if you trade D'Lo, and this is where the third part comes in, I believe you need to bring in somebody that can fill that void. Not so much has to be this true playmaker. Again, Austin Reaves can make plays, but he's not a playmaker. Like, D'Lo is a playmaker, right? He makes plays, right? He sees things and gets things going, right, that he's creating, rather than Reeves is bringing the ball up. Oh, this guy is cutting. Let me just run the pick and roll or call it, play, or hit the open man or whatever, right? D'Lo is out there reading the defense and then reacting based on what the defense is giving him. And he does that very well, right? So to me, again, I don't think you necessarily need that. And at any point where, offense just isn't clicking right now, we just need a guy to go and make a play. You have LeBron James, right? So in the playoffs, something like that, it's just like, man, guys aren't hitting shots. Things are rough right now. Bron, I need you. Here's the ball. Go make me a play, right? Like you can do that, but I do think you need that initiator. You do need that guy that can just be comfortable in that role. And I think Bruce Brown makes a ton of sense in that regard, right? Like I also like the pairing better of Bruce Brown and Austin Reaves because there's not that redundancy. Right, with Bruce Brown, you're getting that athleticism. You're getting that defensive versatility. You're getting that point of attack, right? You're getting a guy that can initiate the offense and run the offense. Getting a guy that can provide rim pressure and score at all three levels. Bruce Brown isn't a great three-point shooter, but also can he improve playing alongside and being slotted next to LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Austin Reaves, if you are able to get a Jerami Grant to where Bruce Brown is now kind of your fifth offensive weapon, right? He's more there to be the initiator, to be that point of attack defensively, to help defend out on the perimeter. I mean, you could even run at times. You could even go like Bruce Brown, Jared Vanderbilt, Jerami Grant, and then Anthony Davis, like just defensively with like Max Christie, right? You could just slide Grant. Imagine a defensive five, right? Into the game, 10 seconds left, right? Lock in. Let's go. We need to get a stop. We're all on the edge of our seats. JJ rolls out there with Bruce Brown, Max Christie, Jared Vanderbilt, Jerami Grant, and Anthony Davis. Let's go get that stop, right? Like, I love like an idea like that. Or you can even go bigger. Like, if you want to do, if LeBron wants to lock in, because LeBron can still lock in for 10 seconds, right? You can just take out Max Christie and go with like LeBron if he really wants to lock in and engage for that final play, that final sequence. So, again, like, I like the flexibility and versatility with Bruce Brown slotted alongside. Like, I'm trying to envision how the roster would look and shape up and what pieces that are available that we know, right? Because, Bruce, I'd rather have Alex Caruso. Like, there's other guys that I'd rather have, but realistically, that's available that you can slot in and plug and play and then go with, Jerami Grant or whatever. So my thoughts is Jerami Grant seems to be the most likely trade scenario, right? So what else could you do? Also, there's reports that have came out that Toronto is a team interested in D'Angelo Russell, particularly because of his expiring contract, right? So if that's the case, okay, cool. You could basically, if you're going to swap D'Lo, my concern is you turn D'Lo into a Cam Johnson, right? Well, now you solved one problem to open up another. Yeah, you can maybe take Rui and turn him into something else, right? Like, I don't care how they get there, right? If you trade Rui, like if you trade D'Lo to go get a wing, and then you trade your Wayne and Rui to go get a replacement guard, then fine, right? Now, don't get me wrong, I would rather, like if the Lakers could get a Wendell Carter Jr. or a Walker Kessler or something like that, I'd rather have that, if I'm being honest, right? Even with the hole that D'Lo could potentially create, take my chances, right? But Walker Kessler, Wendell Carter Jr., we don't even know how available they are. We know teams have asked, but listening and, picking up the phone is not the same thing as actively trying to trade guys. I mean, the Jazz turned down 2 firsts for Walker Kessler. Is that because they just don't value the Knicks picks, or do they want more, which the Lakers can't even do, right? So it's just like, again, like the only centers that really seem truly available that we know are actively available are Clint Capella and Nikola Vucevic, right? Like outside of that, everything else, like a Nick Richards, all that stuff, they're all just guesses. They're all just like we're hoping that the Lakers can land somebody like that. So to me, if you can't get that center, then solve your biggest problem last season, which was perimeter defense. I mean, every team in the league was shooting like they were the prime Warriors against us because we had 0 perimeter defense. Your perimeter stoppers were Rui Hachimura, Austin Reaves, and D'Angelo Russell. And then LeBron James on occasion, right? Like, it's just, again, like, you're not stopping anybody with that. But now if you have a Jerami Grant and Austin Reaves can kind of get back to being serviceable, we actually saw him be good, actually, not even serviceable, actually good in the Denver series. And then, have like a Bruce Brown, right? Like now I think we have a legit defensive unit. I think we have a nice balance at that point. And we all saw what Anthony Davis plus Jared Vanderbilt equals. Best defensive team in the league, right? Say at worst, top 3 to 5, right? Just with those two, right? Now, imagine if you had a guy in Bruce Brown and a guy in Jerami Grant, assuming that he can kind of recapture his defensive prowess, right? There's a lot of concerns about that, but also being on the Lakers, he's probably not going to have the offensive workload that he would have otherwise. So hopefully he can kind of focus on the defensive side a little more. But if he can just get engaged and just be a serviceable defensive guy, now you got him, Bruce Brown, Austin Reaves, LeBron James with Anthony Davis. And at any point, hey, you know, and then here's Jared Vanderbilt just ready to just stop whoever's in front of him, right? Like I like that versatility better, right? I think Bruce Brown gives you a different look and element than somebody like a D'Lo and a Reeves, right? It's not about who you believe is better, right? Because basketball just isn't that in a nutshell. Us as Laker fans should know that. You know, I'm old enough to remember Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, Metta World Peace, Pau Gasol, and Dwight Howard, and we squeezed into the playoffs. Like, you know, like, again, it's more than just putting talent out there. If it was just solely talent, then the Phoenix Suns would have won last year. Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant. I mean, your top, they got the 3 best players as far as like trio goes on paper. It just was terrible. It just didn't work out. They didn't have defense. They didn't have size. They were terrible offensively in the fourth quarter in particular. Like, they had their issues, right? But it's about fit. Like, why? Like, a lot of people argue Rui and Grant. It doesn't matter if you think Rui is better. Grant is the better fit. He's the better natural 3, where Rui is best as the natural 4, right? Same thing with Bruce Brown. It's not even so much, because again, they're not going to trade Austin Reaves. I get people all the time, how come you're always talking about trading D'Lo? Why don't you talk about trading Austin Reaves? Why am I going to talk about something that is not going to happen? Right? Like, you know, there's a report, you know, Lakers are shopping Reeves, then yeah, I'd talk about it. But there's no news. Everything we've ever seen is that no way, no how, unless it's for prime Michael Jordan, is Austin Reaves being traded, right? So I can only talk about who we know the Lakers are shopping, which is D'Angelo Russell. And so if you're going to trade D'Lo, again, it's not about who's better. I think that there's a genuine argument, even if you were to get a Bruce Brown, to trade Reeves and keep D'Lo. Right, D'Lo's just the better playmaker. He's the better volume 3-point shooter. Right, like he was actually better overall defensively. Right, so again, I think that there's an argument there, but it's about the fit. And Bruce Brown is just the better fit alongside Reeves, and then you know Jerami Grant, LeBron, AD, or again it could be a Cam Johnson or whomever. Right, or maybe it is a Wendell Carter Jr. and a Bruce Brown, something like that. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you like the idea of Bruce Brown? Do you think Bruce Brown, like, yes, Bruce Brown makes a ton of sense. Go get Bruce Brown. You know, again, he's not perfect. He's not without his flaws. But also another point that I should make that I didn't. So for those that stayed this long in the video, thank you. But Bruce Brown's also expiring. And we know that he wanted to be a Laker. He was going to sign in Gabe Vincent's role. So instead of Gabe Vincent, we would have had Bruce Brown. But then here comes Indiana, and they go, we'll give you a double. And so, yeah, I can't be mad at them. Go get your money, right? Go get your bag, right? So he gets his bag, worked out for Indiana because they were able to get Pascal Siakam. But now you could go trade for Bruce Brown. You know he's going to re-sign if you offer it to him. And then 2, like, you're not going to give him another $22 million, right? So let's say it's even $15 million. You just cleared $8 million off your cap space. LeBron James could go and, you know, basically restructure his contract next season if you wanted to get another guy or 2. So getting Bruce Brown could even potentially get you another piece or 2 later on down the road. Salary cap's supposed to go up. LeBron can kind of manipulate his money, and then Bruce Brown, you can clear, you know, $10 million off your book, $8 to $10 million off your books. Goes a long way. So anyway, again, have a feel whatever your thoughts are. Love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments. That being said, if If you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.